Did you know that one of the most popular type of Medicare plans is actually landing people in court? Today, I'm going to go over a common trap that people end up in that's due to a piece of fine print in a popular plan called an Advantage plan. I have helped hundreds of people with Medicare, and I now have, gratefully, over 500 five-star reviews. And I've seen this mistake before, and I'm making sure that you don't make it next. All right? So let's dig into it from here. Have you seen these guys on TV? You probably have. They're everywhere, right? They talk about a plan called a Medicare Advantage plan. The upside to these is they're very inexpensive. They've got some perks built in, but they are network-based, and in lies the rub. There's a particular provision within that network situation that people are not aware of that I'm going to show you today. We'll use an example. Barbara called me recently. She had a PPO, which is a type of a network, right, that's available within these Advantage plans. And she had thought, well, PPO is going to be the best because PPO, I can go in network or out of network. That's what she had read. So she could pretty much go anywhere, she thought. Well, that's true, but what she didn't realize is there's some trickery there regarding the out-of-network situation, or at least some fine print, I should say, that is what's going to come up and be the problem. So let's take a look at that. Barbara needed a knee replacement. So she went to see her primary, which was in-network. In-network primary, no problem, right? And that primary then sent her to see a specialist, an orthopedist. The specialist was also in-network. So both of these in-network. However, the specialist puts her into surgery. What happens in surgery? They put you under, right? And that involves a different doctor called an anesthesiologist. And the anesthesiologist is not someone that Barbara had ever talked to or knew would be involved. It's just somebody that the facility chooses, right? Well, it turns out of network. Out of network. So a doctor, due to no fault of her own, that was brought into the process was out of network, and she didn't realize it. Well, the anesthesiologist's office is happy to accept this PPO, right? They will see people that they're out of network with, but they're going to charge, here's the fine print, the out of network cost. That's what people don't realize is, yes, a PPO will let you go in network or out of network, but that doesn't mean you're going to pay the same either way. If you go out of network, you're going to pay an out of network cost. And if you're talking about a specialist or something, that may not be that huge. But if you're talking about out of network for hospitalization or out of network for surgery, that's a big deal. That's where a big bill, and the big bill that came up here was $4,000. Barbara gets this bill and is like, what the heck is this? This should be covered. I went to my in-network doctors. Certainly this is a mistake. I'm sure it'll all clear itself up, but it didn't. Well, she didn't pay the bill. And eventually the anesthesiologist sues her. Lawsuit. And that lawsuit now is still ongoing and affecting her credit. Now, I'm not saying that an Advantage plan is all bad. I'm not saying there's not times when an Advantage plan is the best option. But let's take a quick look at the pros and cons of the Advantage plan versus what else is available, all right? So as we've seen, with an Advantage plan, the upside is that it's very cheap, right? Often $0 a month, sometimes up to $50 a month, but either way, very inexpensive comparatively. The downside, though, as we've seen, is it's got a network issue, right? Network. And mistakes can get made, or the network can change from year to year, things like that. Things I go through in my other videos, so check those out for a deeper dive on that. The positive, though, is it has perks like dental vision, hearing. We'll just call it dental vision for the moment. So perks like dental and vision, hearing, sometimes a little spending money card, a gym membership, those are positives. Over here, supplement plan. Its downside is it costs more. We'll say it's $100 a month plus. But its positive is, and this is big, this is the big comparison here, no network. This is the only health insurance in America that has no network. So if Barbara had had one of these, she would not have encountered that problem. There is no network. Next, the downside though is there is no perks. So as we can see on the upside, this one is more comprehensive medically in this way and others. But its downside is it costs more and it has no perks, no dental vision. You have to add that separately. So we can avoid these mistakes by getting a supplement plan instead, or we can get the Advantage plan to get the perks. But we have to ask the next question, which is these dental, vision, and hearing with the Advantage plan, are those perks or are they a trap? And that's the topic of my next video you should watch, where we can dig deeper into that topic. All right? Now, if you prefer, you can go ahead and reach out to me one-on-one and we can take a specific look at your situation. You can contact me here using my direct phone number, my website, or there's an appointment link here in the description below. Either way, check out the next video or reach out to me, and I look forward to seeing you.